Hello, hello, and welcome to Oracle Hour. My name is Sabrina Rising, and I am a psychic medium and a spiritual teacher. And it's my honor to channel spirit on your behalf as the Oracle. Thank you for coming and watching me live. I appreciate you joining me. I can see that my beautiful community is already here. We've got so many questions in the chat already. Uh, oh, we have a moment, technical difficulty with it. Let me see here. Okay. Can you hear me once or twice now, Diane? Can you hear me once? Okay. How about now? Once or twice? Can you hear me once? Okay, good. Beautiful. We had a technical glitch. I apologize. I'm going to start over. I was hearing myself twice. So, welcome to Oracle Hour, everybody. I'm Sabrina Rising. I'm a psychic medium and a spiritual teacher, and it's my honor to channel spirit on your behalf. We've got a wonderful, heartwarming, heart-opening show for you tonight. For those of you that are joining me on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, you can see me, but I can't see you. So come and join us on YouTube at Sabrina Rising and put your question in the chat. I always answer questions on a first come, first serve basis. Of course, if you're a paying member, then you get priority in the chat. And I can see that we have new members this week. Diane, perhaps we can celebrate Vicky, I believe, is a new member. Congratulations, Vicky. Welcome. Welcome to Oracle community. It's my honor to have you here. For those of you that are considering joining, there are two membership options available. There is the first tier, which is the Seeker, and this gives you priority in the chat and access to ad-free meditations and some fun badges in the YouTube universe that you can participate in when you're live with me on the show. There's the link to join my channel. Thank you, Diane. And the other membership option is the Inner Oracle Community Member. And at this tier, you get access to, you get all the same perks as the Seeker, but you also get access to all of my ad-free content, members-only content, every class, every workshop, every channeling event, mediumship demonstration I've ever done is available to you through this members only membership. You also gain entry to our Oracle Gathering, which is every second Saturday of the month. We have one coming up this Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific. This is where I channel spirit on your behalf in a closed private event setting. It's a Zoom environment, so we can see each other on screen, we can interact, and this is where I do deep mediumship connections and spirit messages, and we sort of interact and dialogue, and you can ask questions about what's going on in your life and how to heal certain whatever it is that you're struggling with. Okay, so that's the opportunity to join the Oracle Gathering with me. Okay, so that's coming up this Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific. It's a 2-hour event. If you are an Inner Oracle community member, you get free access to the gathering. So you can come every month, every second Saturday of the month, and be part of a growing community of like-minded individuals just like you that are really committed to their healing journey, to developing their own intuitive gifts, to developing the Oracle within themselves. Of course, this is my wish for you, and my wish for all beings everywhere is to have access to the spirit realm, to our higher selves, and to our deepest truth so that we can be self-governing and sovereign in our earthly life. So for tonight, we're going to talk about a topic that's, they're all so near and dear to me, but tonight I really want to dive into messages from our loved ones that have crossed over. Okay, now, while I don't do direct mediumship on the show because I need you to interact with me, and, it happens sometimes. So if your loved ones are here and we're interacting, and I receive a message to convey to you, I won't say no. But I don't take mediumship requests on YouTube. You have to come to the gathering for that. And that's this Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific. So be sure to click on the link for that so you can get tickets to come. But I want to talk about how our loved ones have messages for us, even when they have crossed over, and when our loved ones are seemingly no longer with us, they're still around us. They still exist as part of universal intelligence, even though they've crossed the veil, if you will. Even the expression, the veil, is sort of, not not really correct. It feels like there's a veil because we don't have access. We can't see them or feel them or talk with them as if they were here in 3D, but our loved ones are still very, very much around us. Okay. You don't need to be a medium in order to feel the presence of your loved ones, in order to connect with them, to receive guidance from them, to feel them, and to be reminded of them, throughout your daily life. And it's a wonderful way to develop this practice, especially if you're somebody who's just lost a loved one and you're grieving. Creating your own personal mediumship practice is a beautiful way to heal from the grief, keeping in mind that grief and love are the same current. It's the exact same frequency. One happens in the absence of love, and the other one happens in the presence of love. And so that's just the main distinction, is one is absence and the other one is presence. And yet when we open up our channel and we're able to connect with the spirit, the energy, the resonance of our loved ones really communicate from that place of resonance, emotions, and frequency. They don't necessarily communicate in the form of audible messages or in the form of, like tangible things that obviously we would experience in 3D. So, but it feels like resonance. It feels like a presence. It feels like a sensation in the body. We're going to do a guided practice tonight to help you open up your own intuitive gifts, to bring your clairs online, and to bring forward the presence of your loved ones so that you can feel them, you can hear them, you can sense them, you can experience their love, and in the right here, in the right now. Right? And I one of the reasons I'm so passionate about mediumship work and creating these mediumship connections is because love never dies. It simply changes form. Right. And we feel like when we lost somebody that they're gone, we miss them, we grieve them, we feel like they're just not there anymore. We feel like we've lost that connection or lost that love. And the fact of the matter is that love continues, right? It's eternal. And it's up to us to open up our ability to feel and to experience their presence and to continue that healing in that relationship as they've transitioned. Okay. So in fact, as our loved ones transition, oftentimes we find that we're able to really deepen the connection and heal whatever was left incomplete in that relationship. One of the beautiful aspects of mediumship is to be able to get complete on a soul level. So sometimes we can feel disconnected, or we can feel like, things have been left unsaid in our 3D relationships, and then we lose our loved ones, or our loved ones, depart, and then we feel like we can't finish that conversation. We feel like we can't, that all of those emotions are kind of left pending. And we have an opportunity through mediumship and through connecting with our loved ones to really feel their presence and to get complete with them. Okay. So our loved ones in spirit are always communicating. They're communicating through signs, through symbols, through messages. Perhaps sometimes it can happen. This has happened to me, where you walk into a room and all of a sudden there's your favorite song playing. Okay. Or you're cleaning out your closet and you come across something, an artifact or an item of clothing that belonged to that loved one that you haven't seen in a long time. Or perhaps you're out somewhere and there's a sign or something that you would have shared with this person. These are all symbols and signs and messages from our loved ones that are communicating with you. These are not random. There's no such thing as a coincidence. From a place of higher consciousness, everything reflects everything. And so we are always connected through this thread of consciousness. And so we understand that, sometimes our hearts are feeling heavy or sad, or perhaps consciously or unconsciously, we're calling in for a sign or a message. We're calling in for some reassurance or some guidance. Perhaps you want to feel the presence of your loved one today, or, it's an anniversary or a birthday or something you would have celebrated with this person if they were, here on the earthly plane, and you just want to feel their presence. And so you can, call out to them and, set that intention energetically, keeping in mind, as an energetic being, whatever you're holding energetically communicates. It communicates not only in 3D, but also to the beyond, to your loved ones in the spirit realm that feel your presence, that hear you and that, want to support you and want to guide you in your earthly experience. Okay. So this is so, so important that when you have a deep desire in your heart to feel the presence of your loved one, I was talking to my father earlier today, and I lost him to the spirit realm when I was 7 years old. And, I can feel his presence. I can ask him to come closer. I can ask him to guide me. I can ask him to give me a sign or to send me some reassurance, offer me some support, and then I'll experience something that is, whether it's the flickering of a flame or the rustling of leaves or something like that in the moment, that I know, oh, this is not me. It's not just happening, but this is in direct connection to the intention that I set, to my, deep heart's request for some connection, some support, some evidence that, he's still here with me. And you can do the same in your own personal practice. In fact, I really encourage it. It's developing our own personal mediumship practice is a beautiful way to connect with our loved ones, connect with the spirit realm, but also to connect with universal intelligence, to connect with God, to understand that we're never alone, that we're always divinely guided and supported every step of the way, that there is, we can have guides, for example, that we've never even met before, but there are guides that have chosen to connect with us and to support us on our human journey because, we have a similar intention, or we have something that we are creating in our life that requires, this spirit's level of expertise or knowledge or whatever this spirit experienced in their lifetime. And so we're always being guided by the spirit realm. We're being guided by souls that have evolved past this human form and into the collective consciousness, and that intelligence that they carry is available to us, whether that we need that intelligence to fulfill our soul's journey, to find our purpose, to heal, and to connect with those that we are bonded with, those that are in our lineage, our ancestry, our paternal lineage and our maternal lineage. And these souls in particular carry significance for us because we are here as human beings expressing whatever is unresolved in our family. So we're living out the karmic patterns of our lineage, if you will. So, when we do ancestral work and we connect with our loved ones, it's not just about the intimacy of experiencing the love and the bond of that relationship. It's also about, neutralizing the karma and, fulfilling the lesson, and perhaps lightening the burden of your ancestral lineage, because as we know, generational trauma gets passed down, from generation to generation. And so we have an opportunity through mediumship and through ancestral work to really come into full awareness of what these patterns are, so that we can release them, and heal them, not only for ourselves but for future generations. And this is one thing that I love, that I'm so passionate about mediumship for, is to really connect with the patterns of our ancestors, to receive messages from our loved ones about the gifts we carry, about what we're here to express, what we're here to fulfill, what some of our lessons are, who is in our soul tribe, who are the ones that we have soul contracts with. This is all work that we can do when we open up our channel and we're able to connect with our loved ones. For those of you that are that have lost someone near and dear to you, tonight we're going to do a little guided practice here in a few minutes, where we're just going to close our eyes and we're going to put our hand on our heart, and I'm going to guide you through a practice where you can call in the image of this loved one and feel their presence, and learn to develop your own intuitive abilities, so your clairs, your feelings, your thoughts, your sensations, and your emotional resonance, so that you can open up to messages and experience the love that this loved one has for you. Our loved ones in spirit don't hold a grudge. They have no resentments. They're not bitter. They're not carrying the personality that they had in the 3D experience. Okay, so, this is a big spoiler alert for those of you that have never had mediumship. Our loved ones always want the best for you. Even if the relationship didn't end off well, even if there was some pain or some, I want to say ill will in 3D, that is gone, right? And so our loved ones always they want to heal. They are also working to heal on a soul level in the astral plane as they merge back into source consciousness and potentially reincarnate. They're working to heal. And so there is only forgiveness. There is only peace. There is only a genuine desire to communicate unconditional love and to acknowledge the relationship and how much it meant to them as much as how much it means to you. Oftentimes I get requests in mediumship like, you know, does this person forgive me? Are they still upset about this? Or, you know, I feel like I didn't do enough, or I feel like I could have said more, or I wasn't there as much as I would have liked to. You know, these are all things where our loved ones always want us to forgive ourselves. They always want you to have compassion and empathy for the love that you are capable of giving, you know, and the love that was available between you in 3D. They are always directing us to forgive ourselves and to have peace. They're lightening our burden that we might be carrying, whether that's guilt or remorse or, like, as I mentioned earlier, resentment or bitterness. They want you to find peace. Ultimately, they are finding peace in the astral plane, in the other paradigms. And as the soul dissolves into the astral plane, the ego dissolves, the personality is no longer there. And so, you know, all that's left is unconditional love. And you have access to it when you open yourself up to receiving it, to feeling it, and to experiencing it in earnest. Right? If you have a sincere heart's desire to feel your loved one, you can. You just need the belief system, an open mind, and a willing heart to be able to fully experience the presence of your loved one and to call them in. Okay. And again, this is not about, you know, and when I say this with love and gentleness and kindness, it's not about creating sort of this idea or even a dependency on loved ones that have crossed over. This idea that they are, you know, that there is still this sort of specialness in the relationship that you can always count on, or so it's very normal to it's very important to have a healthy context around your relationship with your loved one. They're there to guide you. They're there as guides, as support systems, and as reminders of love. And they want you to move on with your life. They want you to love other people. They want you to open up your heart to the possibility of love. They want you to let go and to be free to love again, to use the grief of the loss of your loved one to allow you to expand your heart and to allow that expansion to create more love for yourself and for other people. Okay, these are messages I get all the time as well. I have a particular reading in mind of a woman who, you know, had a lover that had crossed over, and then, you know, was sort of in this relationship with her lover, but wasn't really moving on with life. And so it's important that we use these connections to heal and to remind us that love is real, and that to also to remind us that love is not just personal, it's universal. And it's eternal. And when we move out of the attachment of love as a personal experience between two opposites or two exclusives, if you will, and we move into this experience of embodied love as universal love in all its forms, love with all of creation. I'm connected in love. Then I can experience this love in a more calm, more freeing, more liberated way, and more reassuring way, because I'm aware in this awareness. I know that love can never leave me. I can never be abandoned, and I can never lose the love of my loved one, even when they cross over. Okay, so that is my sort of message for those of you tonight that are open, that are wondering about your loved ones that have crossed over, that want a message from your loved ones that have crossed over, that are interested in understanding how spirits communicate. Again, look for clues and signs and symbols, and it's important to open up your awareness, to start to pay attention to these signs and symbols, to get curious, to set an intention, perhaps to receive a message from a loved one. You can keep it open. It doesn't have to be a specific loved one, and just say, you know, I'm open to, you know, hearing from my ancestors today, and then see what happens. And by the end of the day, you know, maybe journaling, you know, keeping a little journal and just kind of writing down some events or some things that happened that will connect the dots for you, that will feed into that intention, reveal to you that your practice is real and that it's working. Of course, this takes time to develop. Okay, so I encourage you not to get discouraged, If you don't feel something right away, keep at it. We're going to do our practice here in a moment. So just keep at it and trust, as long as you have the belief system in place and your heart is open, that you can experience the presence of not only your loved ones, but your guides, your spirit team, and all of universal intelligence as you start to sort of come online with your own gifts. Okay. So with that said, I'm going to guide us here. Take just a few minutes of deep diaphragmatic breathing. And close our eyes. Put your hand on your heart. And this will help all of us here in community tonight prepare for the messages that are going to come through. Good. As you put your hand on your heart, start to ask your loved one or loved ones to come closer. Perhaps you have the face of someone in front of you already, or perhaps you have the sensation of someone beside you already. So notice if there's anything that you see, feel, hear, or sense, any feelings, emotions that you might sense. And as you're breathing, just allowing, we don't chase spirit, we just allow it. We allow it to come forward. We allow it to touch our hearts, to nudge us and to remind us that we are connected. Just notice whatever you're experiencing, notice the tendency to judge or interpret, even deny. This is the ego mind, the logical mind that wants to take over the process. So just bring your attention back to the breath as you're breathing and just allowing this to be exactly what you need to be, what it needs to be for you in this moment. You can ask your loved one specifically, show me how I can feel your love today. Good. Just letting go of any attachments, allowing yourself to experience the full range of sensations, emotions, feelings, visions, sounds, bringing all your clairs online. Good. Exhale. Bring them. You can wiggle your fingers and toes, bring your awareness back to the present moment. Thank you for joining me for that guided practice. I would love to hear in the comments if you felt the presence of a loved one, if you felt someone, if you received a message, or if you have questions about how to do this. I would love to hear it. I would love to hear your experience in the comments. And with that said, Diane, let's dive in and take the first question. Hi, Dietrich. Dietrich says, thank you for creating a loving space. Oh, thank you for being here, Dietrich. Are there any messages for my loved ones or spirit teams? Any reassurance? My heart has been heavy lately. It's been hard to find gratitude in my everyday. Okay, Dietrich. The opening message tonight was for you. The opening practice was for you. And hopefully, there's always a theme. Whenever I do these opening messages, it usually feeds into all the questions that are here. So I invite you to practice what I just shared with us. Okay, so just creating inner stillness and opening up your heart. It's hard to receive the messages from loved ones if you're not feeling grateful, right? So that's the first thing. Where it's hard to find gratitude. I understand when you're feeling sad or you're feeling a little bit bitter. It feels like a little bit bitter. When I tune into your energy, Dietrich, it feels like there's a couple of things that haven't been working out the way you wanted them to. It feels like there's some 3D disappointments and a little bit of letdown. When I tune into your energy, it feels like there's, like I want to say there's disappointment. There's two avenues I want to take. I either want to go in the direction of work, feeling like work is kind of either at a dead end, or it's not moving forward the way you wanted it to, and it has to do with relationships as well. So there's maybe some relationships at work that maybe overlap in your personal life, but yeah, there's a feeling of bitterness. That's the word that comes through, and yes and yes. Okay. Okay, thank you for confirming. So these two things are kind of happening parallel, and um, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to let go of any attachments to any outcome, okay, and just let go of feeling of expecting things to be other than what they are. This is, you know, the first step in developing inner peace. Your I don't know who this lady is. There's someone in spirit here for you. It's a female presence. It feels like an aunt or like a, um, like I want to say a great aunt or a grandmother or something like that. But she's kind of, um, yeah, she almost feels like a fairy godmother energy. So someone that either looked after you when you were younger, or that you were connected to somehow, who's like, she was very unique in her own expression, very unique in her own life, kind of ahead of her time, and she's sort of connecting with you in this moment of grief and this moment of feeling disappointed, and you've got thwarted expectations, and things are just not people are just not showing up the way you want them to. And she's here she had this very similar experience in life, where she felt let down. She had very high expectations or high hopes in certain areas, and then just felt like people just couldn't meet her there. And so she's here sort of, I want to say like her soul's kind of dovetailing with yours, and she's encouraging you to not, it's kind of like not give up, or, not compromise who you are. Don't settle. Don't lower your standards to meet other people, or to acquiesce to the needs of your environment. She wants you to stay in your, yeah, stay true to yourself. Okay, even though we're suggesting that you remove expectations from these relationships that you have. It's time to reevaluate and just really see like who's actually true in your life, who's actually who are the people that you can really count on, and let the other ones kind of fall away. It's important right now that you sort of clean house and you take the step back to really reevaluate, sort of come back into yourself, strengthen the relationship you have with self, and don't let this gnaw away at your self-esteem. Okay. The message is to really regroup. This feels like a maternal, like great grandmother or great aunt energy, sort of coming in as a guide, and sort of, reassuring you that there's nothing wrong with you. You're not on the wrong path. You're not doing the wrong things. You just may not necessarily be in alignment with the environment that you're in. Okay. So this is an opportunity for you to regroup and to be true to what it is that you really, really want. And it feels like there's some things you need to walk away from. In fact, there's one particular relationship that I think has sort of served its purpose. Okay. And so it's time for you to lovingly bless and release. And I'll let you fill in the gaps. Okay, Dietrich. But that's my message for you tonight. And it says, I certainly feel that. Okay, good. Yeah, beautiful. Uh, Beautiful. Okay, good. Thank you. I love that. Diane, do we have any comments about the practice? Did anyone experience their loved ones? Oh, you're so welcome, Dietrich. That was amazing. I felt my dad present. Oh, beautiful. I love it. I love it. I felt my dad too. Awesome. Thank you for participating, you guys. It's beautiful. Oh, beautiful. I truly felt the strong presence of my son doing this. Beautiful. Oh, good. I'm so happy to hear that, Heidi. We're going to see you at the Oracle Gathering. We're going to talk to your son on Saturday. So I'm excited for that. For those of you that want direct mediumship, if you want me to channel your loved one on your behalf, join the Oracle Gathering. That's this Saturday. And we'll put the link at the end. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. Let's talk to the next person, next member. Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. Jennifer says, hello, Sabrina. There are quite a few projects that I have and would like to know where I should pay closer attention. I have done all I can with the house and let that go. So just building with spirit. Okay, good. Yeah, I feel like I like that you've let go of the house. I like that the non-attachment to the house. Although I feel like something's going to call you back there for some reason. Like there is some serious karma between you and this house. There's something a phone call you're going to get or something. It could be also the initiation of the sale or something like that, like the letting go of this property. So you're not done dealing with this house. Okay. So that's not finished. And I hear that you want to put your attention elsewhere. Yeah, it's funny because the other projects also have to do with home, and they have to do with rebuilding your environment. They have to do with um, uh, creating a sense of home. So, you know, that's where spirit wants you to put your attention is what does home feel like for you, Jennifer? This is the question I'm getting. It's like, what does home feel like? And home has many meanings here. It's not just the physical location. It's also how you feel in your body, how you feel in your heart, how the kind of, the people that feel like home. So you're in this process of creating home. I still live there. She says, okay. So that makes sense. So again, home. So then if that's the case, then this is the bridge to what you're asking me. If there's an opportunity for you to create home, a sense of home, I would guide you to start looking for somewhere else to live, because I feel like there is um I feel like you have to leave this place in order to let go of this place. Okay. This is what I want to say. Like there's a sense of home in terms of how you feel in your body, how you feel in your life, with your family, with your environment, a feeling of home, a feeling of community. And it's important for you to bring balance and harmony into all of these relationships as well. Okay. So some relationships, family member relationships, and so on, you're really healing the home feeling. And that goes back to inner child. It goes back to early caregivers. It goes back to those relationships that helped shape your belief system and help shape the person that you are. Okay. So this is the work that needs to be done now, is to really deal with the home situation. And Spirit's saying, like, maybe start thinking of rebuilding a home somewhere else, like building it from the inside out, not just being in a situation that you can, however you ended up in this house that you're living in, but really intentionally creating home. And that's, I feel like you have a regular job that you're going to that's pretty stable. So the work front feels like it's kind of just there right now. It's supporting you, providing for you. But there is, there is a project around rebuilding the home, or a initiative around rebuilding your home environment that you need to pay attention to. Okay. And that's what I'm getting for you. If you have a specific question around a specific project, please put it in the chat so that I can answer that one specifically. If you have a specific project. Yeah, and let's talk about bringing balance and harmony into your relationships as well, because I want you to, again, there's this feeling around home, and opening your home to other people, letting people into your life, letting relationships into your life. Like, we got to get to that point of giving and receiving love. So the receiving part is really important for you. And this will help move things along with the house and will help move things along with the environment that you're in. As you learn to receive, you'll be able to sort of create a deeper sense of home and where you belong. Okay. You haven't fully landed where you are yet. And that's how I want to answer that question. Okay. That's what I have for you tonight. Jennifer, thank you for being here and thank you for asking your question. She says, still open. I'm not quite sure. I know we need to paint and redo some things here. Okay, good. Yeah. So, I mean, that's like what I'm saying, that there are some things. But I want you to finish this project, like complete the home, have it ready to go, have it ready to like put so much love and intention to it that it's ready to house other people. And then you can go and then you'll be free and liberated from this karma. Okay. And so you can go and create something that's really intentionally yours and for you. Okay. And again, opening yourself up to receiving. So giving and receiving, that will help the flow of what you're creating in this home. And I know that there's an intention to put it up for sale. So like, that will help move the energy here. Okay. That's how I want to answer that question. Beautiful. Thank you for being here. Okay. Who's next? Hi, Chris. Chris says, is it safe for me to reach out to my sisters and or parents at this time ever? Is it safe for my own kids to visit them? Also, my sister and brother both died 20 years ago tragically. Are they around? Oh my goodness. Okay. First of all, I'm deeply sorry for your loss around your brother and sister. Um, okay. I don't feel there's any physical danger. That's the first way I want to answer this question, Chris. So there's no physical danger. Is it safe? It depends on you and your capacity to hold boundaries. I mean, I know you've done it, feels like you've done a lot of work around, putting up boundaries and, distancing yourself and creating, a lack of communication just to keep the peace, just to stay sane. And I know that you're really, really vigilant around your children and protecting them from any type of toxicity or anything that you went through as a child. Okay. So, and I think that that's a beautiful example that you're demonstrating for your kids. I feel like, again, we got to come back around here. Okay. So, again, softness. So, is it safe? I would say that it is emotionally up to you to feel safe in your own body. So, to make sure that if you're interacting with them, that you are able to hear where they're coming from. So this is what I want to communicate is really listen for the need in the relationship. Okay. So what are they communicating? Because sometimes people don't know how to communicate their pain and they say hurtful things or they say things that are menacing or diminishing or, yeah, like there's a lot of there have been a lot of personal attacks on you, it feels like. So it's important that you hear those from the context of compassion and empathy and understand that where they're coming from has nothing to do with you. Okay. If you can this is a long answer to your question. If you can like learn how to not take it personally, then it would be okay. It's kind of time now. It's time astrologically, it's time in your energy field, it's time in your karmic path to be able to come full circle and sit down with them and talk about, what a relationship is going to look like moving forward. Okay. So I do feel like it's safe physically, but emotionally, it's going to be up to you to really be anchored in unconditional love and to realize that nothing can touch you, nothing can harm you, nothing can hurt you. Okay. And unless you allow it. All right. So that's how I want to answer this question. And as far as, here's what I want to say about the kids. I would, if the kids are visiting, I would go with them. Okay. So I would go with them because you want to monitor the relationship. You want to monitor the relationship while you're establishing, you're training a new way of communicating. Okay. So this is important. And I feel very like even my voice got a little more amplified as I was channeling this message for you. This is important, Chris. Okay. So you want to make sure that, um, that, children are being treated with respect and kindness, and that there is, an understanding of your parenting style, and that they're able to maintain they're able to respect this parenting style. This is very important. Okay. So this is, I don't want you to shrink. I feel like I'm having this vision of you kind of like you walk into the door of your parents' house and you shrink, and you become sort of susceptible to the hurt all over again. It's there all over again. Through mediumship and through personal practice, you can feel the energy, and you can also feel I actually do feel your brother and sister that died tragically. I feel like they were close in age too, like really close in age. You know, um, there is such a huge wound in the family because of this, and there's so much unresolved grief in the family because of their passing, that it's because it hasn't fully been processed. It's created these, these, I want to say, energetic imbalances. It's part of the reason why your parents have just became angry, and I feel like they sort of lashed out at you or took it out on you, you and your sister, for example. Yes, I'm scared of the manipulation and emotional abuse. Okay, yeah. My siblings died by suicides. Yeah. Were they close in age? I'm just wondering if they were close in age. Yeah, I feel like there's again a lot of unresolved anger, and like really like low vibrational frequencies, like a lot of anger and guilt and blame, and an abdication of responsibility. And so there's a huge wound in your family, especially. Yes, yes, and died 5 months apart. Okay. I mean, I was actually gonna ask you if they were like fraternal twins or something, because it feels like their souls are connected. They're actually together in spirit, and they're with you, and they're I feel like they um yeah, the female is kind of like writing letters, like she's like writing notes, and she's either writing in a diary, or she's writing about her experience and what life is like for her, and it's really intense. Like she's experiencing so much pain and so much grief, and it's almost like you got out. They are acknowledging that you got away from this environment, that you were able to save yourself from this environment, and that you were able to get some help. So it feels like your soul's karma is, had the opportunity to was strong enough to sort of leave this environment and get this help and the support that you need. And now it's kind of up to you to come again full circle and soften and come back into this family environment and bring a higher level of consciousness, bring an opportunity for everyone to heal. Okay. I think, I think your siblings want that. They want that for the whole family system, because you're all still connected energetically. You're all part of this ancestral line. And so I want to say that, yes, there's a long answer to your question. Yes, I want you to go back and visit. I want you to go back and be with your family with very clear boundaries, very vigilant around the communication, especially around your kids, and starting to address the wound, the unresolved wound of especially what happened with your siblings. Okay. Because I feel like your mom is in complete denial. She doesn't want to talk about it. She doesn't want to acknowledge it. And it's really affected her mental health over the years. And so I feel like there's an opportunity for you to heal this in your family system. Okay. And you're the one to do it. This is why you're here asking the question, interacting with me, and that we're channeling this information for you. Okay. I would love to see you in the Oracle gathering so that we can go deeper into these connections with your brother and sister and see what specific messages they have for you. um Chris says lots of intergenerational trauma. Yeah. I mean, I feel it. It's heavy. There's a lot of layers here. So I would love for you to come to the gathering on Saturday at 10 a.m. So we can go deeper into mediumship with your brother and sister. But it's your soul's karma. This is your confirmation that part of your contract is to bring healing to your family system, to talk about what happened with your brother and sister, to open up your sister's it looks like a diary or a set of letters or something like that, it's kind of in a box somewhere, and to address the pain. It's like this, there's so many secrets in this family. It's very sick, it's very toxic, and so it's important for everybody to start talking about what happened and how it affected everyone and what really went on, in especially with your sister. She's the one really kind of coming forward, kind of, saying like she wants to be heard. Okay. So yeah, so I'm going to leave you with that and we'll move on to the next person. But I think mediumship will be really, really beneficial for you, so you can get some answers and some clarity in terms of what's next and how your siblings in spirit can help guide you. Okay. Good. She says, okay. Okay, good. Beautiful. Okay, who is next? Heidi. Heidi says, good evening, Sabrina. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Thank you for being here with me tonight. Heidi, no specific question. I'm just wondering if I have anything good coming or anything messages from my guides. Thank you. Oh, I love this question. Okay. Okay, so Heidi. So this is interesting that you're asking me about if you have anything good coming, because I feel like you're getting either a new opportunity, a new job. It feels professional. I don't know if it's a traditional job situation, but it feels like an opportunity to express your gifts in a particular way. So it's a new professional opportunity. I don't know. Are you singing? I don't remember if you're the one who sings. Are you the one who sings? There's like an opportunity to like share your voice. Like I have a vision of you at um almost like at a podium or something like that, or you're on a stage, and she says yes. Okay, good. So like on a stage or something like that, there is an opportunity for you to share, and this is spirit wants this for you. It's going to be very healing as well to like step on stage or step on a podium or step, at a it feels like either a community center or something that's near you, where you're now sharing your voice and sharing your gift and your art. And it's very like I said, it's very healing, brings you out into your community. It opens up your gifts. It opens up your heart. I feel like there's an opportunity coming. Okay. So it's either something that you can, initiate, or you'll come across the opportunity. I feel like your son is connecting you to this somehow. So like, he's the one who dropped the flyer or something that you noticed, or the hint that you are, that you're meant to do this. Okay. And this is going to be very good for you. It feels like it's opening up a new avenue, a new area of self-expression in your life. And that's going to feel really fun and very fulfilling. And I see you making some new friends and connecting with some new people, which is good. I love the phase of life that you're in right now, Heidi, because you're really sort of opening up your heart and coming online and healing and giving yourself permission to love, like opening up your heart, as I mentioned. So this is all in the realm of that. As we find our creativity, we learn to express, we learn to feel into our intuition as well. Okay. So the more you allow yourself to be creative, the more intuitive you'll feel, the more you'll experience joy and connection. Okay, so you've got really, this sounds fun. I've been working on it for a while as a way to express myself. Okay, good, beautiful. I love that. So this is an opportunity, and you're really good. You're really talented. You have a very unique, distinct voice, distinct expression. Yeah. And I mean, I feel like this is connected to love and relationship too. So you might meet someone in this way, or you might meet someone in this realm or in this artistic expression, that you can connect with. And that'll feel really good, to sort of meet someone who can see you in your gifts and in your full self-expression. So this is beautiful. I love what's happening for you. So go for it, sing and keep an eye out. I see, again, I feel like your son's dropping this flyer. It looks like either something that comes in the mail or something that you see at the local library or something like that, like on one of those cork boards, but there's like an opportunity for you to sing. And that's where you should go, and you should say yes to that. And that will open up a whole series of opportunities for you. Okay. That's my message for you tonight, Heidi. Thank you for being here. Beautiful. Okay, Chris says, I deeply want to heal. It feels like it's my job, especially for my children. Yes, so many secrets. My sister who died wrote lots of letters. Thank you. Okay, beautiful. Thank you for validating. Yeah, I'm really, there is some very interesting and important details for you in these letters, okay, that you need to know. And I don't say you're the one to put pressure on you. I don't say that you have to do this, like, or else. It's not a warning. You are being called into this. That's why you're asking the question. That's why you're here. That's why we're connecting in this way. And that's why the messages are coming forward, and your sister's like right here, like, I have chills, and you, if you really sit with it, like, you go back and do the earlier practice and calling your loved ones forward, you'll experience the same sensations. She wants to connect with you. She wants you to have this information. And so the more you talk about these secrets, the more your family system will heal. And again, none of this is personal. It feels so personal because we're talking about our loved ones and these bonds and the ones that have crossed over, and we want to feel them and experience them. It feels so personal, but it's not. We are all souls intertwined with agreements on how we're going to play out our karmic agreements, our patterns, our wounds, so that we can choose awareness. We can choose God. We can choose unconditional love, the embodiment of unconditional love. And when we do that, we awaken. And when we awaken, we liberate ourselves and we heal our whole family system. And the healing that you do, Chris, is not just for you, but it's also for your parents, your grandparents, your whole lineage, and again, the generation that's ahead as well, your children. Okay, so thank you for asking such a deep and profound question, and thank you for giving me the honor to channel on your behalf. Okay, who else is here? Heidi says, thank you so much. I appreciate you. There goes okay, who's next? How are you doing, Diane? I have hi Jean. Nice to see you. You can post your question right here. She says, where do we post questions? Jean says on Facebook. Here, I'm going to post her for a second. You can put your question right here, Jean, and we'll see it. Okay. Hi, Liza. Good to see you. Okay, good. All right. So do we have another question? Angela. Angela says, good evening. Do you have anything from my father? What is it that I need to hear from him? Okay. Well, okay. So I want you to practice just connecting with his energy. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, it's challenging for me to do direct mediumship in this format, but I will do my best to convey messages if he's present here for me. Otherwise, I invite you to join us at the Oracle Gathering on Saturday. So the first thing I want to say when I feel into your energy, Angela, is there's a lot of longing in this relationship with Dad. Okay, a longing for the presence of his love, a longing for his presence, period. So, I feel like there's a lot of either he was in and out, or he wasn't in your life consistently in a consistent fashion. He couldn't express his love the way he fully wanted to. And I'm also picking up some like addiction, alcohol, drugs, like that kind of thing. And I don't know if that's just in your family system. But there was definitely addiction, alcohol, and some mental health issues in your family system. And I feel like your dad is communicating to you, like, there is a light in you that, regardless of all the trauma and everything you've been through, that's completely intact. And he's encouraging you to like return to innocence, return to that place of innocence within you. Okay. And I'll let you sort of fill in the gaps of what that means for you personally. There's been a lot, I feel like there's just been a lot of like chaotic relationships with men. And so much of that has been as a result of the absence of father, the longing of male love, the longing of a male presence in your life, of a healthy, stable male presence. And I feel like your dad's remorseful for not sharing more, not being more of a loving, stable, steady example. And yet there's so much love for you that he feels like he's making me feel like he wish he had communicated that more, or more regularly, or more consistently, or had been more of a stable influence for you. And so that's what I'm feeling in terms of your energy with your dad, your connection with your dad. And there's some healing to do around your relationship to the masculine as a result of it. And that shows up in your love relationships. Okay. So, again, that love from your dad, you can feel it within you. Okay. It's really important that you cultivate that connection, and you can feel it within you, and that you open up your heart to really experiencing forgiveness and non-judgment and compassion for the person he was and the person that he, wasn't, so that you can, know that despite his misgivings and despite his lack of presence, he still loves you, and he still, he wants you to know that. He wants you to know that in the deepest way. Let me see if I have any other messages here. Yeah, he's showing me, I don't know, it looks like Angela, if you're still here, you can validate. It looks like a metal box or something like that, where there's a little key, like a metal box. Sorry, that's my dog. Like a metal box or something like that, where you open it up and there's like old pictures, old photos, like some black and whites in there that I'm seeing that are of him and you when you were really, really little. So to go back, and it's kind of like he's showing me that there was a time when you were very, very small, where you were close to him and connected. There we go. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay, good. Okay, so there's like this metal box. I want you to go and look through. It has these like images, like almost looks like some black and white photos of the. You're welcome. I'm so grateful to be able to channel him for you. So go back and sit with those images. There's like one of you and him. You're like really little, and you're either sitting on his lap, and he's got his arm around you. It's like, it's not fully black and white. It's kind of like faded, and he's got his arm around you, and you're his baby. You're his doll, and there's very few moments that are captured like that. He wants you to sort of go back and remember and connect to that innocence in that photo, and remember his love. To really maybe even hold that picture in your hand if you can find it, and just connect to the energy of his love. Okay. So that's how I want to leave it. I want to leave you with his love, and just remind you that you can, develop your own ability to channel and to connect with him, go back and watch the beginning of this broadcast where I got us through an exercise, and just feel his presence. Okay, those will be very healing for you. Okay, you're welcome, Angela. You're welcome. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. I think someone says we skipped her. Okay, so let's go back and see if we can help AC, and that'll be the last question for tonight. Hi, Liza, I see you. Here we go. My question tonight is, am I on the right path? Okay, AC. Okay, here's how I want to answer this question. And I'm saying this for you and for everybody watching. You're always on the right path. Okay, and I'll tell you why. There's no wrong choice. All right, there's no mistake. You're either going to make choices that have one set of lessons, one set of opportunities for growth and expansion, one set of opportunities for you to learn about your karma and your path, or you're making another choice, a choice that has a different set of lessons. Okay, so am I on the right path? I think the better question is, am I on a path that aligns with my soul's mission, my soul's purpose? And from that energy, I can say that I feel like why do I want to say it feels like you're hiding out, or you're like kind of, you're not on the court, if you will. You're kind of in the bleachers, you're like on the sidelines of life right now, sort of looking down, wondering what role you're going to play, or how you're going to play this role, or where your place is in the world. Okay. It feels like that's the question. So that's the real question you have, is like, where is my place in this world? Where do I belong? Where do I fit in? And of course I say this with love and compassion. It's you're always exactly where you're supposed to be. So if you are wherever you are right now, I think there's an opportunity for you to be more fully self-expressed, to come out more, to share your gifts more, to pursue your passions more, and to go for the thing that you really want. Like, you're in this sort of mindset of looking to see what's available, rather than actually cultivating from within what you deeply desire and what you want to manifest. Okay, so there's a lack of clarity around how you want to spend your time, how you want to feel, how you want to live. And so these are the steps you need to take right now, is to create this clarity. And once you create that clarity, then you can take the aligned actions that will help you on the path that you're on. Okay. Yeah, there's a move coming too. So you need to move. And I don't know if you just need to move in the sense of like, get out of the house and move, or just move into a new location. And it can be both. Okay. So just moving with the energy. And there's some steps you need to take to get yourself out in the world and be more active in your environment, and go for the thing that you really want. I feel like you know what that is in your heart, and you're just like, there's such a fear of failure, of scarcity, of things not working out. I feel like you've tried a lot of different things and they haven't fully worked out for you. So there's a part of you that's just like, I'm afraid to make a move. Okay. So spirit is guiding you to just, it's almost like, I want to say that if you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough, so don't get discouraged. Okay. So I want you to really get clear on who you want to be, how you want to live, how you want to feel on a daily basis, and develop a practice that allows you to align with that. Okay. And there is a move coming, an actual logistical move as well, which will be connected to a work opportunity. So that's coming, but you have to go for it. Okay. You have to really put yourself out there and stop playing it safe. Okay. That's my message for you tonight, AC. All right. Thank you for being here, and thank you for allowing me to channel. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, everybody. I love you all. Thank you for joining me live. It is 6:02. I love being here with you. I don't even know where the hour goes. For those of you that didn't get your questions answered, don't get discouraged. I'm here every Wednesday and Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific. You can also jump in on a reading with me. Diane will put the link up here for you. If you didn't get your question answered tonight, please join me in a one-to-one. I'd be happy to hold space for you. We can go deeper into whatever it is you're struggling with, and I can give you some more clear, concrete directives in terms terms of what's next. So that's the opportunity to book a reading with me right there. For those of you that want to come, if a reading feels out of reach, come and join us at the Oracle Gathering. It's happening this Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific. There's the link to join the Oracle Gathering. It's a community environment. It's just like this, except we're all on screen together, and I'm actually interacting with you. You can ask me questions. I go deeper into channeling. I offer mediumship connections. So we are surrounded by loved ones during these Oracle Gatherings. It's actually mostly mediumship. And of course, you can ask some psychic questions as well. So that is the link to join. We would love to have you at the Oracle Gathering. For those of you that are already inner Oracle community members, you have free access to this. So you already have the link to join me on Saturday. That's in your inbox. You'll get a reminder on Friday where to join us on Saturday morning with the Zoom information. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Oh, I love all the love, and thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for watching me live and for being here and for bringing your love and your questions and your willingness to practice and to open up your hearts and to learn how to feel into your own intuition as well. You are helping me as much as I'm helping you. This is a three-way conversation with Spirit that we're having. My intention to serve you, your heart to receive, and Spirit's willingness to bring messages forward so that you can receive the healing and the clarity and the direction that you need in your life today. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining me live. I will see you at the Oracle Gathering on Saturday morning. And for those of you that can't attend, I will see you next Wednesday or Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific. All my love.